are turned off, you may need to check.
All right, so the time is now 7 o'clock on February 23rd, 2022. I'll call this meeting to order for the Lemoore Planning Commission. So our next item to jump in, if everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so our next item is the roll call.
Do you do that, Kristen? Do you do the roll call?
Okay. All right, learning new skills here tonight. Okay, so Commissioner Franklin?
Here.
Commissioner Etchigon?
Here.
Commissioner Couch?
Here.
Commissioner Clement?
Here.
Commissioner Burr?
Here.
And can the record reflect that Commissioner Mead is not with us this evening? And so we have a quorum, so we can continue on with business. The next item is the recognition of the reappointment to the commission, Mr. Greg Franklin. So welcome back, or rather, welcome to continuing our journey with us.
Thank you.
Item number 4, the introduction of new commissioner, Mitchell Couch. Welcome to the commission. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
And then number 5 is the reorganization of commissioners, the election of officers, chair and vice chair.
Kristen, you're gonna run this? You're gonna run it?
Okay, commissioners, does everybody understand the process before I get started? Okay. Are there any, I'll open nominations for chair, of the commission. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Day. Second that.
Are there any other nominations? No other nominations? Now, do I have a second to nominate Day
Second.
as a chair? I'll open nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Franklin.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I received a second from Commissioner Etchigoyen to nominate Commissioner Franklin for vice chair. So let it be known, we have a first and a second to nominate Commissioner Day for chair and a first and a second to nominate Commissioner Franklin to vice chair. And so now we can,
So you'll want to do
everybody's where they need.
you'll want to do probably a roll call vote for each one of those. So with respect to the commissioner, if you could
apologize.
take roll first and then do the vice chair, the chair and the vice chair.
Okay, so for chair, we have a nomination first and a second for Commissioner Day for chair. Commissioner Brewer? Can I get an aye or
Aye.
Commissioner Clement?
Aye.
Commissioner Couch?
Aye.
Commissioner Etchigoyen?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Day?
Aye.
So, officially, Day, you are the chair, and I apologize. For vice chair, we have a first and a second for Commissioner Franklin. Can I get an aye or a no, Commissioner Brewer?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Day? Commissioner Couch?
Aye.
Commissioner Etchigoyen?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Day?
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. And Commissioner Franklin is vice chair. Thank you.
All right. So moving into the next item, we have the public comment. So this time is reserved for members of the audience to comment on subject matters that are not on the agenda, but are within the jurisdiction of the Lemoore Planning Commission. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes per person. The commission is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters that are not on the agenda. Any handouts for the commission shall be provided to the Planning Commission Secretary for distribution to the commission and appropriate staff. So at this time, is there any comment from the audience or from the public?
No, we
didn't
receive any comments.
All right, so this time we'll close public comment. Moving on to item 7, the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of January 10th, 2022. Have all the commissioners had the opportunity to go through and review the minutes? And if so, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, go ahead. If there's no other comments, I move that we approve the minutes of our regular meeting taking place on January 10, 2022.
All right, thank you. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second that.
All right, awesome, thank you. And so, moving forward, Commissioner Clement,
Yes.
Commissioner Echigo?
Aye.
Right, that was a yes towards aye, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Aye.
Commissioner Brewer?
Aye.
Commissioner Couch?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Okay, so we have the approval of the minutes. The next item, number 8, moving into the public hearing for tentative parcel map number 2021-03, a request by Olam West Coast Incorporated to divide a developed 24.95 acre light industrial parcel into 2 parcels. The site is located at 1175 South 19th Avenue in the city of Lemoore, APN 024-051-025.
Good evening, Commissioners and Chair. This is a request brought by the owner, Olam West Coast Incorporated, to divide their parcel into 2 parcels. This project is fairly straightforward from the planning point of view. It meets all the planning and zoning standards, but because of the location of the proposed lot line and the buildings that are there on the site already, we did we meaning the city staff did a lot of work looking at this and determining whether this was appropriate, mainly because there are building and fire codes related to how close buildings can be to property lines, when there needs to be fire rated walls, things like that. So before we brought this to you, we made sure that the fire department, the building department, and the engineering department were okay with this map. They've gone through it, and they're satisfied that this will meet the codes if approved. So that's really our only condition, is that the final map would continue to meet the fire codes if they happen to make any minor changes to it or anything like that. So we're recommending approval and with the conditions that are in the resolution. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the commission at this time? I've got one. So there's a number of conditions that need to be met before final approval. After those conditions are met, is it then brought back to us for final review, or it's
No, that's a good
green light from
question.
there?
So the way a parcel map works, a parcel map and a subdivision map, how they work is there's the tentative map, and that's what you see, and that's the discretionary action that you have. You're approving the tentative map, either the tentative parcel map or the tentative subdivision map. The final map is, it's not a discretionary decision by the city to approve or deny it. It's just deeming that it's consistent with the approval that you made. So we don't bring the final map back to you or back to the council. Actually, we do bring the final subdivision maps to the council, but their action at that point is accepting improvements or right-of-way dedications, things like that. So it's not really an approval. So yeah, it's a 2-step process. The second one is more technical, done by the engineering staff to ensure that it meets all the engineering and survey requirements.
I was just curious as to what kind of accountability there is for the owner to make those, to remedy those recommendations in order to meet those conditions put forth by the
The
different
accountability is that the city engineer doesn't sign the final map or let it be recorded until the conditions are satisfied.
entities. Gotcha, okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Sure.
When would be the timeline when they'd be in operation, facility? Any idea? If this moves forward?
I'm not. They're in operation. They're operating now, according to the city manager. Yeah.
So this is the north end of the Olin plant. As you know, they've gotten out of the tomato business, but they still process all their Costco brands here in Lemoore for like the granulated garlic, and I think they're gonna do some stuff with onions. So that north end of that plant has always been their retail space. So basically what they're doing is doing these adjustments so they can continue to operate their north kitchen and keep that business going. And then they'll sell off the southern half of the plant. They've already sold off the south 50 acres. This is the center section. And they need this approval so they can continue to operate on their north end and then go ahead and sell the rest of the plant to somebody new.
Any other questions from the commission?
So at this time, Chair, you would open the public hearing.
And so being as if this is a public hearing item, I will open this to public hearing at 7:12. And so is there anyone from the public that would like to address this issue? No? Anything come in online or no emails, anything?
They would have to respond prior to the meeting or can.
So that makes things pretty simple. So being as that there's no addressal from the public, I'll close the public hearing at 7:14. Okay, so I'll bring it back to the commission if there's any other questions that may have arisen, or if you're ready to make a motion, I'll definitely entertain that at this time.
I have a question. Is that okay?
Sure.
So I guess my question would be on the zero setbacks. We see that in detail A, detail B. So potentially that'll be sold off to different owners. I don't have a question yet. I'm just looking at this. Sorry about that.
I was wondering when you were going to weigh in on this, given your background.
Well, I guess the concern would be you got a zero setback, and I've run into issues like this before. I just drawing on experience I used to live in Portland, Oregon with zero setbacks, and it caused problems. So everybody looked at this and they were okay with it?
Yeah, so the fire department and the building department looked at this. They've been on the site. They've looked at the walls. The walls are fire rated.
Yeah.
So they do meet the code, which it's kind of working backwards. Usually you have the lot line and then you build the building right next to the lot line. In this case, we've got the building and then we're adding a lot line right there, but it still does meet the code because the wall is fire rated.
So normally for light industrial, what is the setbacks? What would be required? Let's say the building's not there.
Interior, in terms of zoning, interior light industrial setbacks that is zero. So
Okay.
so we default to the building code.
Mhm.
If they don't want to do a firewall, then I think they have to be 3 feet back.
3 feet, 5 feet, okay. Okay. And the fire department is okay with it and they
Yes.
said, okay.
Any further questions? No. There's no further questions. I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Chair, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-02, approving tentative partial map number 2021-03 in accordance with the findings and conditions in the resolution.
All right, thank you. So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Okay, so Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Etchigon,
Aye.
Commissioner Brewer,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Couch.
Aye.
I vote aye as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving along, item number 9, the director's report.
So good evening, commissioners. Just two quick things. Lacey Ranch should be coming back to you next month. I believe it's the 14th in March. The EIR is posted online for reviewing through the comment period. So that's coming next month. And then there's a CUP at the county, 2106. It was submitted for a feedlot and cattle processing facility on the corner of Highway 198 and 41. The city sent a letter of opposition to the project in totality back in January. Since the letter of opposition has gone in, the county has reached out to see if we would consider rescinding our opposition if they took the feedlot completely off the table and just had the beef processing facility. So at a special meeting tonight, we have opted not to rescind the letter. We're going to keep the opposition in place for the totality of the project and wait to see what the next steps at the county are. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then item number 10, commissioner reports or requests. Yeah, Commissioner Burr, anything to report or request?
No.
Commissioner Clement?
Yes, I have talked to the Mead family. This is Mead, in regard to the situation with Ron. Some of you probably know that he's been hospitalized for quite a few days. He fell and broke a hip and went to rehab and to the hospital up in Fresno. And when he was there, he broke his other hip. So he eventually went to Visalia for rehab, and he's got some other complications, and he's currently at Coué Delta Hospital. So keep him in your prayers. That's about all I know. I've been talked to his wife 3 times now, so I'll try to get an update.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Couch?
Nothing.
Nothing? Commissioner Etchigon?
I just want to welcome Commissioner Couch to the commission.
All right, Commissioner Franklin?
No, welcome, Commissioner Couch. No, I'm good.
All right, and just wanted to echo the sentiments towards Commissioner Mead. Personally, he's a dear friend of mine, been a mentor to me, poured a lot into me, and so I really value him as a human being and as a big brother figure. And but just humbly request that y'all keep him in your prayers, and if you happen to know him, reach out to him, and just shoot him some good vibes, and wish him well, along with him and his wife and his family. And then also to piggyback off other sentiments, I want to welcome Commissioner Couch to the commission. Look forward to, like I said before, look forward to working with you and being able to work as a team to be able to help shape the community that we live in, and also continue welcoming Commissioner Franklin, for another term onto the commission. He's a real joy, and been able to have some experiences with him, like the Christmas parade, and look forward to future endeavors together. And then with everyone as a commission and in other endeavors as well.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I remember when I had you in class back in the day at Livermore High School as a freshman, and I have nothing but good things to say about Michael. He's a genuine person. Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, with that too, also consider myself really fortunate to be able to be in the position that I'm in, not only to serve on the commission and be able to be a part of shaping the community that we live in, but then to be facilitating these meetings and kind of driving things along to a certain degree is deeply humbling. I really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you for that. And hopefully I'm able to serve our community well. With that, I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:22. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I really appreciate that, for all your sentiments, all your work, city staff, all the people that come through, the council members, other members of the governance, city attorney, always a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you all for everything that you do, and I look forward to our next meeting. And officially, meeting adjourned.